Okay, so welcome to 24 hour, 28 miles, 43 minutes, 257 watt hours per mile. This is normally a place where I would tell you how FSD did. Okay, so there was a few turns where FSD actually improved the smoothness of the turn. Okay, so coming up, 1431. We're almost in the Cedar Park, and all of a sudden the FSD's sounding an alarm. Okay, fine. You know what? I see there's a semi coming the other way, but it looks like he's in his lane. As a human driver, I wouldn't be worried about it. Were there other cars around me? Yeah, nothing special as far as I know. But anyway. As soon as he sounded alarm, brake on, FSD off. Human driver all the way rest the way into 24 hour. You know, no, I'm not going to. If FSD can't handle the drive in clear, sunny weather. I mean, what is it? It's 90 degrees, so it's a little bit warm, but it's not hot. Or hot. Is there some breeze around? There is some breeze, but not that much. I don't know. And since I looked at display and it wasn't saying something about hands, it's not the fact that the driver wasn't paying attention. It's the fact that FSD just couldn't handle a drive. Whatever. So anyway, FSD off. I'll make for a shorter video anyway, right? Okay. We'll try to get on the way home. See if maybe FSD can handle the drive home. I don't know. We'll see. Navigation has us going down Bell, but since my last experience with Lakeline worked fairly well, I chose to go down Lakeline. The only catch I saw was, well, you should not be in the rightmost lane. You want to stay one lane over. Okay. And actually, I was kind of surprised. GP must have thought he had clearance, and all of a sudden he found a Tesla screaming by him. Yeah. Well, you know, and so he said, "Oh, I can accelerate fast too." If that was fast acceleration, that was pitiful. But anyway, peace and harmony. I don't know, let's say other than, yep, that's the way it goes. Okay, onward, upward charge. Okay, man, oh man, what do I say about this afternoon? Yeah, I don't know. All right, so 30 miles, 44 minutes, 242 watt hours per mile. And yes, there were times when I was chewing up the road, allegedly. All right, so, the U-turn coming out from 24 hour. Why did I brake? I think I braked coming out of 24 hour because the car was drifting kind of center in the private lane, the private driveway. So I was moving it over. Anyway, when we came out to where you can go, oh look, there's no traffic coming. It's clear. But FSD's not running, so I take care of it. I get us going. So just before we get down to the U-turn part, I turn FSD back on. FSD takes us around. Around the U-turn part, and when it rolls up, it treats that yield as a yield. So somehow we got a magical situation where all three areas that cars could be coming from, they were all stopped. I don't know how I don't know how FSD timed it, but good on you, man. And somehow he recognized that situation and rolled right into it and went. Wow. Okay, that was pretty good. Kudos. Getting up onto US 183, It handled pretty good. It saw that there was 2 cars next to us, and it saw that it had enough room to speed up, so it did. It sped up and got in front of those 2 cars. So it did not exceed the set speed limit. So that's pretty good. And I think he got into the middle lane all by himself too. Now it started getting tricky. That's where it is, yes. So as we're coming up to the exit, so while we're on 183, I switched from avoid toll roads to allow toll roads. Speaking of which, navigation, avoid tolls, okay. So I enabled toll roads just because I didn't want to go through all the traffic. Although you still go through all the traffic when you go on 1431. It's just not as much or as long a period of time. Whatever, peace and harmony, it's all good. What I want to say. So when we're coming up on the exit for Lakeline Mall Drive, the cars in the middle lane, they're starting to play that game of, well, I only got in the middle lane because I was going to cut through traffic to make the exit. Right? So they're stopping. There's an open spot on my left, brake on, FSD off, move left, go. Like I said before, you don't want to be in the middle lane if you're continuing on 183A and traffic is busy. And not that traffic was real busy, but it was busy enough. You don't want to be in the middle lane, right? There was a guy in a Charger there, and as soon as that lane opened up and I moved left, all of a sudden I heard that Charger, wah! Well, it turns out he was just looking for his path to go to the right. I thought he got mad because I went by him. Yeah, like that. And even with the wah, man, his Charger was gone. Why? Because human drivers knows how to use the accelerator, and this is a performance. Yeah. That's why Dodge is going electric on their Chargers, or whatever they're going to call those cars, right? I mean, wow, I can squeeze 1 more mile per hour. Oh, on the drag strip. Oh, and that's a big accomplishment for them. I show up on the drag strip. I mean, I have summer tires, right? Essentially street legal racing tires, right? I'll admit I have that, but I show up to the drag strip, do nothing special, and I'll smoke a lot of cars, except for these special built ones, that kind of stuff. Yes, they'll still beat me, but I mean, stop. It's used. It's a 2020. Okay, whatever. Peace and harmony. Anyway, I just find that kind of funny. That, you know, people still play those games, and that's part. There's 2 reasons why people will switch to EVs. Right? One thing is, gas prices are gradually going to go up and up. Sure, they're low right now. They're what, 320, something like that? 312, I think. At least in the Austin, Cedar Park area, right? They're probably even a little bit cheaper than that, actually. But gradually, sooner or later, even Texas, even as much as Texas wants to supplement and prop up the gas and oil industry, sooner or later, those prices will go up. You can count on it. You can. Okay? So the first reason is energy costs. Let's just call it energy costs. Right? How many people here listening to this are into it because, oh, I like the way it rumbles. Blah, 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 blah. You know? Yes, there are some people like that. Hey, I'm all in favor, like in England, you pay a gas guzzler tax, right, on your registration, whatever it is. I'm all in favor of doing that. Better. I mean, good on you. Okay. Okay. Anyway, gas prices, yeah, they're going to kill you sooner or later. It's either that or, well, I don't know. Do people even think about Russia being a communist nation anymore? It kind of sounds like they don't even think that way anymore. I remember when I was in school, that was a big deal. It was the Russians who put the missiles in Cuba. It wasn't the Chinese, it was the Russians. The Chinese helped invade Korea, but they kind of acted as a supporting group to the USSR as it was at that time. I mean, whatever. The politics nowadays, I'm so confused. It used to be real simple. Now it's like, I don't know. What do you say? It's upside down from my perspective. I wonder what my father would think if he was still around. You know, I wonder if he would use the word rhino. Right? Okay, whatever. Peace and harmony. Sorry, I'm off track. Yes, my father was a Republican. Died in the wool. Whatever. So anyway, I was given two reasons. The first reason was gas prices. The second reason is the convenience and maintenance aspects. Right? I mean, what do I have to do? Oh, I had to check tire pressure once in a while. I have had to add windshield washer fluid. Oh my. Both of my cars have had relatively minor repairs. Right? I mean, with the Model Y, it turns out there was some controller somewhere that was just a little flaky. And that's part of what you get when you get a relatively early build. Right? I mean, the smart money would have been to wait longer. But I went in my Model Y and that's what I got. But now that they fixed it, oh, it's beautiful. It's great. I love it. Except that's not a Model 3 Performance. Oh, which is where we're sitting now. We're sitting in the Model 3 Performance. Yes. There is some difference between a Model Y long range and a Model 3 Performance when it comes time to acceleration. But anyway, and then in this car in Grandpa, I had a little problem with the column lining on the interior, and they reset it, got it seated. And they said there were some pieces that were broken, and I thought maybe when I got the car, maybe it was broken. I just didn't look close enough. But in retrospect, it's I think it's just if you hit that interior piece, if you hit it hard enough, you'll break it. And I figure that's what must happen. Okay. Anyway, well, not being fair, am I? So in the Model Y, yes, I've gotten two nails. The first one they managed to patch. The second one they said they couldn't patch it and they had to replace it. Oh, and Grandpa with FSD on found a big pothole and that tire went. It went flat quick. So eventually, I do plan to put on some sport wheels with the appropriate tires, which should absorb the rough roads a little bit better when we encounter them. I think that's it. You know. And what's that? Oh, well, to be fair, when I bought Grandpa, it came with brand new tires. Okay. It's a Performance. Whoever had it before probably tore up the tires to some extent. Let's see. Our odometer on this car is at 46,000 miles. And over there in Opal Ray, I think he's around 27,000 miles. Yes. Well, okay, you have a point there. So that goes back to the gas prices. The flip side of the gas prices is when you charge at home and you're only paying 11, 12 cents a kilowatt, it almost feels like getting your energy for free. So yes, I can fill up and drive all over the place. And the superchargers, they're not horribly expensive. It's not that much difference between gas and electric in that respect, but I only use superchargers when I travel. It's kind of like when you go up to Massachusetts, gas or diesel, whichever one, costs more up there. It just does. Okay, whatever. Peace and harmony. Yes, I've gotten off on a long rant. I'm sorry. part of the cost of being a friend of Ray. Anyway, whatever. Peace and harmony. All right, so I think actually I left FSD off all the way through 183A. Just knowing that I don't really like the way FSD does its thing when it gets off for 1431, because it'll go to the right first, even though the right lane is essentially a right turn lane only. Although you can go straight, but you can't turn left from there. So you have to count on traffic not being busy to get over to the left to make your left turn. Far easier to just stay left in the first place. But I don't think FSD understands that concept. I mean, he used to do it, and then all of a sudden it went away. Whatever. I mean, it's just training, right? All right, so sorry, I'm trying to remember. Oh, so now we're on 1431. Cool, awesome. I'm in the inside lane. Okay, so one of the rules FSD has is if oops, it got completely dark in here. Okay, one of the rules FSD has is if you're in the passing lane, the inside lane, and there's cars stacking up behind you, you should get to the right to get out of those people's way. Well, it's rush hour traffic. There's going to be people behind me. Okay, so anyway, we're cruising along. I mean, stop, go, stop, go. Yeah, you know what rush hour is. Okay, a spot opens up on the right. All of a sudden, FSD is going to the right. I didn't even look at the message. Pretty sure it said, "Oh, we're moving to the right to follow route." I don't think it tells you that it's moving out of the way, because the guy behind me is driving a Maserati. Who cares? Actually, the guy in front of me is driving a Maserati. Right? So he picks to line up behind a minivan that's driving slow. And I have like 10 cars go by me, because now I'm in a position where I can't get back left. I'm stuck in the slow lane, going even slower when traffic is already moving slow. Yes, FSD kind of made me angry, yes. So while he's in the middle of doing this changeover, brake on, FC off, message sent, why did we have to move lanes? Now I'm going even slower than I was before. Come on. Okay, I used some different words, but whatever. It's the same basic message. So I'm stuck behind this minivan for the next 2 miles. 2 out of 6 miles or whatever it is. Oh my goodness. Finally in Jonestown, a spot opens up and I cut through that open spot. Now I'm finally in front of the minivan. Yay. Oh, man. What's that? Yes. Oh, that minivan didn't like that one bit. He was going 45 back there. As soon as I went by, and what's that? I've already said it's Model 3 performance. Yes. Left him sitting there looking stupid. in front of his girlfriend, I guess, maybe his boyfriend, whatever it is. I don't know. It looked like he took it personally, because all of a sudden he can go highway speeds. Yes, he's staying pretty close behind me in the inside lane while I'm in the outside lane. I don't know. Finally, we catch up to another vehicle, and it's another vehicle that's also going, wait, what? We're on a highway? What do you mean we're on a highway? At least he's in the outside lane. But once Mr. Minivan can match up speeds with him, somehow the minivan got in front of me. Well, I guess because I came up against this slow car. Okay? And so the minivan comes up, and they go like this for 1.5 miles. Oh my goodness. Why? Why are you guys doing this? Are you celebrating the last hurrahs of gasoline? Oh, let me prove to you that I can go slow and block you. Yes, you're right. If it was safe to go over into the other lane, I would have. But there is a double yellow, and traffic's moving too fast to pull that off. At least from my perspective, it is. Okay, whatever. Peace and harmony, who cares? Eventually, the slowpoke car, he also figured out he wants to go highway speeds. Except, what's that? He remembers he's paying for gas when he goes up the hills. Rolling down hills, as fast as his little car can go, he's going. Yeah, he drives a Chevy, whatever the little cars are. I mean, there's been so many, but, it wasn't that long ago, GM used to make small cars so you could build yourself up into a more expensive car. Now they don't build any of those. Anyway, peace and harmony. Doesn't matter. Move on. So anyway, eventually, as we're coming up a hill, because my speed doesn't change going uphill and going downhill. Going downhill, I'm regenning. Going uphill, I'm just going along. Those gas cars can't do that. Yes, they can. But that's when the guys start going, I'm paying for this. Yes, you are. Actually, I am too, but I'm paying 11 cents per kilowatt. Right? You're paying $3+ a gallon. And what are you getting? 25, 30 miles per gallon? I mean, the little Chevy might be making 30. That minivan? No, he's not. He's doing 24. Right? What's that? Oh, it's 26? Whatever. He's for a foreign-made 4-cylinder car, he's sucking in the gas. Okay, whatever. Wait a minute. That's what happened. I'm sorry, I left out a part. So I've already told you that in Cedar Park, FSD forced me to the right because we have to move out of the way of faster traffic. That's what it was. Mr. Minivan was on the inside lane behind me. That's what happened. And FSD said, we need to move out of his way. He's going so fast. Is he really? Okay. And that's when he moved me over behind the little GM car. Right? I was livid. Yes. FSD did not get put on after that. No more. No mas. No. You don't do this. Right? You move me over, and then eventually I move back to the left again, and I'm behind this minivan, and I'm just looking at him going like, my speedometer says we're 7 miles under the speed limit. What's going on? Right? Going through Jonestown, you're going, I go really fast. And when we get into the 55-mile-per-hour highway, you're like, oh, well, I have to pay for gas. Oh, no. Take your stuff somewhere else. And that's when the small GM car decided he was also like, oh, I'll show you. I can keep up with him. Yeah. You know what? If there's a third lane, you guys wouldn't even see my car in 5 minutes. I'd be gone. Okay, it wouldn't take 5 minutes. Okay, whatever. 2 minutes. Whatever you think it is. I don't care. It would be boom. Well, that's what it should be, except once I got in front of them, then they're going, hey, wait! Oh, wait a minute! Oh, I can go that fast too! Well, why wouldn't you go that fast when I was behind you? Whoa! Whatever. Peace and harmony. It doesn't matter. Okay? So today, I guess I just won't give a grade for FSD. It was that frustrating for me today. And yes, I'll admit, I wanted to get home, and I was being impatient. That is true. Whereas if you weren't stacking me behind slow cars, I would have been perfectly fine doing a somewhat slower speed. You're right. But because I want to get going, once I found an opening, I went. Okay, you win there. But I mean, come on. Yeah, you FSD moves my car over so the fast minivan go by, and as soon as he gets a clear road in front of him, he can't figure out how to make his accelerator work. Come on. No. And the stupid thing is, once I turned on to Bowman Ford, I never saw the minivan again. He was probably going some other way. He didn't have to turn left. Now the guy in the little GM car, yes, he followed me almost all the way home. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, try to work it out. Decide how fast you're allowed to go, and try to be more consistent. Stop road racing people. Okay, whatever. I mean, that's supposed to be one of the advantages of FSD, is you can stay a more constant speed. But when he's pushing you into the slow lane to go even slower when you're already going slow, that's just too frustrating. You know, come on. I mean, if the traffic in front of me wasn't there, I would get it. Okay, I should move over so the fast cars can roll by. But those cars that are going fast, they're going less than the speed limit, as I am too, because of all the traffic. But, I mean, what you're doing is telling me, as an FSD owner, not to run FSD in busy traffic situations. And to tell you the truth, I did make that mistake, didn't I? Because I left minimal lane changes off for current drive. So if I left it on, if I had turned it back on, would you have not done that lane change? I don't know. Okay, whatever. Okay, sorry. Yes, I'm ranting and raving today. It's not anybody else's fault. It's just the way it is. I mean, in the world of FSCs, this wouldn't have happened. We would have all been moving smoothly. But we have to share the road with a 2000 GM car, and maybe a 2017, maybe as early as a 2020 minivan, where it's just whatever. Peace and harmony. Let's move on. Thank you. Thank you for listening.